Hello and welcome to BC Soccer's FYI, designed to help you understand what BC Soccer is and does. Over the next 5 or so minutes, we're going to explain how BC Soccer is funded, how registration fees are established, and what happens with the money. We often read emails and social media posts that ask questions like, why is BC Soccer raising our registration fees again? And what does BC Soccer do with all that money it receives? Let's get into it. BC Soccer is a non-profit membership organization comprised of youth districts, adult leagues, and various associate or non-voting members. When you register yourself or your child, you do so with a youth club or an adult team. So it's your youth club or your adult team that establishes the registration fee. Here's why. Like the communities they represent, no two clubs are the same. Some are populated with more players, some focus on higher performance development, others prioritize increased participation. Their boards of directors can have different priorities as well. Some are trying to build facilities, others may focus on cradle-to-grave programming. No two clubs are alike, nor are their expenses and operational demands. These are just some examples of annual expenditures that a club may incur. As you can see, there is a lot, and there can be unforeseen capital requirements. The bottom line is there is no one-size-fits-all budget, which means there is no one-size-fits-all registration model that works the same for every single club. That is why the organization you register with determines the fee structure. Most youth clubs pay dues to their district, and similarly, adult leagues collect fees from their teams and pay league and team registration to us. These are the entities and mechanisms by which BC Soccer collects our portion of those registration fees. So the question then becomes, what does BC Soccer collect from every single registered player of sanctioned soccer in our province? There are two fee categories. One is for kids 10 or below, which amounts to $21 per player once per year, and then adults, which is anyone 11 or over, which amounts to $34 per player once a year. It's important to understand that we only collect our dues once per year, no matter how many different soccer-related programs a player participates in. Your overall fee is established by the registering club or team, and BC Soccer cannot arbitrarily increase or change the amount we collect without a vote by our full membership, which, as we've previously mentioned, is comprised of youth districts and adult leagues. And just as those youth districts and adult leagues are members of BC Soccer, we are members of Canada Soccer, which means we have to send dues up the chain just like every other provincial soccer association. Of the $21 collected from the young ones and the $34 from the 11 and overs, we send $9 from each player to Canada Soccer. You could say our net dues from each player drops to $12 and $25 per player respectively. Let's show you our main sources of revenue. First, by a large margin, is youth registration, which here we'll categorize as 18s and under. Then comes adult registration at 15%. The clinics and courses we run for referees and coaches amounts to 13%, followed by government grants from Via Sport at 12%. Sponsorship and miscellaneous revenue make up 5%, and the CSA sends us 1%, which is targeted to specific programming. When you look at it from a pie chart perspective, you can see how much BC Soccer depends on youth registration and how we need to explore alternative revenue sources, which we are actively doing. Then comes our annual expenses, and to no surprise, Human Resources leads at 28%, which is our staff of 18 that administers the game from an operational and technical perspective. Those Canada Soccer dues we mentioned are next at 26%, followed by a combined category of the insurance we provide to every registered player along with player development initiatives. Our AGMs, SGMs, and any other association-oriented events are fourth at 13%, coach and refereeing development 10%, and our cup competitions account for 7% of our annual expenditures. Here's how it looks on a pie chart. We hope this gives you some idea of how the money flows within a membership organization like BC Soccer's, and we thank you for watching.